We are in season number 2 of the Banshee Cup. Infernal Shrines is our first map number 1 between Team Hlopaka and Team Gia. Now, again, to just go over the basics, the second season we changed a couple of things. First of all, we made this a captain's draft. Captain's draft means that every player can individually sign up for the tournament. They are then added to a player pool, and the captains that are determined by the players, so the players from that pool, they voted who they wanted to be the captains, and then the captains started in a draft in a snake draft to pick their teams. That's basically what happened here. So we now have Team Gia going up against Team Hlopaka. We had more than 100 players sign up, which was actually pretty epic, was real fun. And now we have a full round robin as the first phase of the tournament. When it comes to drafts, there's still one draft rule in play. A hero can only be played once within a series, so after you see a hero played one time, he cannot be played again. Cause a little bit of hero diversity. We don't always see Genji and Hanzo being picked every single game, so it makes things a bit more interesting. But we also still have bounties. So we introduced the bounty system in Season 1 of the Banshee Cup, and it was just a bit of an optional thing that we wanted to add to give teams the chance, specifically teams that might not be able to win the tournament, to get a little bit of extra pizza money as well. At least that was the general idea behind it. But we came in with that thought, and we wanted to see, okay, like, how is this going to be accepted by the teams? Do they like it? What does the audience say? And we now adjusted things a bit. So if you remember in season number 1, what we did is that every single bounty that got completed gave you a fixed amount of money as long as you complete that bounty. Now, we're doing it a little bit different here because we want to incentivize specifically at the beginning of the tournaments the teams more to do that. And we just understood that at the end of the tournament, where you're going to the finals, a lot of teams just don't want to risk anything because there's already prize money on the line. So we're splitting the prize pool this time. There's $1,500 for the top 3 teams, just normal prize money for the tournament as you would expect. And then we have $1,000 that are being put in a bounty prize pool. And every single time that you complete a bounty, you get 1 ticket for that prize pool. So, for simplicity's sake, let's say during the entire tournament, only 1 team completes a bounty, then they would get the entire bounty pool. So, just as a bit of an idea of how that works, and we'll talk about this obviously as we're going through the tournament, but here are the current bounties. We adjusted them a bit as well. The idea is not that every single bounty is on the same difficulty level. It's just to incentivize teams to play stuff that we think is fun, that we think could change things a little bit and just force them out of their comfort zone to an extent. Each team can complete any bounty that you see here 1 time. So each team has their own bounty board. It's not something like a team completes the butcher bounty and then nobody else can do it anymore. So, yeah. I think that probably explains like most of the basics. If there's any questions or anything, just let me know and we're going to go over that in the future, but so you have a bit of an idea of what exactly is going on with the bounties here. Alright, so with all of that explained with the bounties, I hope that you have a bit of an idea on how this works, but as I just said, you can also write a comment and let me know if you have any additional questions, but it gives you a bit of an overview there. So, as we're heading into the draft, this is game number 1. This is a best of 3 series, and we have Hlopaka and Gia playing for the first time on the first play day of Season 2. So, we don't really know too much about the power levels of the teams yet. We have some NA players, even Hyde as a Korean player signed up, but the games are still all being played out on the European server. But it's still a bit of a question, okay, which teams are currently really strong? So I'm not sure if we're going to get a lot of bounty attempts on Playday number 1 or if that's something that just starts to kick in a bit later. But I can just tell you that the teams and the players were already just like looking at the bounties, talking about which ones are easier than others, which ones they think they can win with, asking like, hey, can we start with game number 1 to go for them? And obviously they can. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they're going to adopt this. But the truth still remains, the less teams go for bounties, the higher the incentive is to actually complete a bounty, because you get a bigger chunk of that bounty prize pool. Leo, Varian, and Kerrigan, so that's a triple front line that I don't want to go up against, as we're now heading into game number 1, and leaves us with a final pick for Hlopaka, the captain of the red team. And they still need a bit more damage for Infernal Shrines, and it's Genji. Genji comes in, Infernal Shrines, map number 1, so without further ado everybody, let's jump in Hlopaka against Gia. Game number 1, we are on Infernal Shrines, and it is party time, everybody. Gia, the captain of the blue team on the left side with Kerrigan. We get Skok on Varian, so they could technically go for a bounty and try for the meme blades, but I think the chance that's happening is rather slim. Sereni on Hanzo, we got Play on Lucio, and Richu on Leoric for the blue team. And then over on the right side, their opponents, Team Hlopaka with the captain on Genji, Miriala on Junkrat, Parnex on Johanna, Hunter Orc on Brightwing, and Hirath is playing Urel. So we're off to the races. First Playday, first game, first match for the two teams involved here. And who's going to be taking it? A lot of CC for the blue team, but they're actually the ones that lose Varian as all of this starts out. Good Kerrigan combo, but it wasn't enough to save the frontliner. So, yep, he is dead, and they could not get that counter kill that they were obviously hoping for. They were trying to lock a counter kill in, and yeah, it just didn't happen for them. So a bit unfortunate, but again, only the beginning of the game, so a lot of stuff to still pull off here. But let's see who's going to take that lead, and also if teams on Playday number 1 are already aiming for some bounties. There is legitimately a strategy now where you could become a team that just doesn't really go for the tournament victory and just says, we are focusing on completing bounties. If you complete your entire bounty board, you're basically guaranteed to get a buttload of money from that bounty pool. Specifically if other teams are not taking any bounties. So the whole way that we set it up will incentivize teams more and more to complete bounties if nobody else is doing it, because it guarantees you a bigger part of that bounty prize pool. I think it's a pretty nice balance. I mean, it's the second time that we're running this concept right now. So, Varian is not having a good game now, is he? That's the second time that he goes down, so that's a lot of damage against him. And a double kill this early on. Oh my god, that's not only him. That's a kill against Hanzo. That is 3 kills to 0. They're off to a pretty rough start here. But yeah, as I was about to say, if in the future we, for example, see, alright, season number 1, we definitely took some feedback, tried to adjust for season number 2, and we could also, for any potential future season, then adjust things again. I mean, I like to use Meta Madness as an example. When we started up with Meta Madness, for example, the Meta Madness that you see today is really the format I like the most. There's always adjustments still that we could make, but I feel like it's in an insanely good place. It's a lot of fun, and it's just super special. But the initial Meta Madness was a little bit different. So from tournament to tournament, I adjusted the format to make sure that it is what it is today. And if at any point we need to make something similar happen with the Banshee Cup, we will. But I think that this iteration, the second season, is already a big improvement over the first season with what we're trying to do here. But please also keep in mind that this is not really intended to force teams to play any of this. This is supposed to be optional. So if teams decide that it's not worth the risk, then that's also totally fine with us. But from the beginning, it was just like, yeah, we don't want this to turn the Meta Madness where teams are forced to do something, where they have to. We want this to be voluntary. We want them to check if they can play with something like that and see if it's worth taking the risk. So they always have to go for a bit of a risk-reward calculation and try to see what they can do in this. Which adds obviously also an additional layer on top of all of these things that will become more interesting as the tournament continues. But specifically playoffs, I think most teams will not try to go for bounty completions. We might see the occasional one. Chogal, for example, could be one that I can see there. But in playoffs, there's a lot on the line. You're still fighting for the tournament prize money, and a lot of teams will be incentivized to just try and finish as best as they can in the tournament itself. First blood now, actually second blood for Team Gia. Blue team able to take down Jojo here as we're fighting for Shrine number 1. Both already on level 7 talents. So an even level between the two. But that's where the entire CC chain for Team Gia comes in. And they can always follow up these taunts also with some nice combos from Kerrigan. Another really sweet one. So the attack is coming, the Frozen Punisher is taken, and that's the moment when you gotta hightail it out of there. Or you're gonna proc the jump, and that is gonna spell disaster for your wall at the fort. Kerrigan all the way up at the top. So, yeah, and here's the jump. Kerrigan topside. Starting to also clean all of this out slowly. The 4-man push at the bottom of the map, so far successful. Frozen Punisher is, of course, helping a lot with it. Taunt is already out, but Varian had to move back out. Wall gone, and they're abandoning the push, but they've already done some significant damage here. Not as much as they were probably hoping for, but still the fort is taking damage, the wall is gone, so it's a decent start into into the game and into the map. A half-level lead to boot is obviously quite nice as well. Now, top side, Kerrigan still making sure that they're getting additional experience over here. So trying to do their best with that. And down to the bottom of the map, it's all about the camps at this point. So they're trying to just take some control there. Level 10 kicking in next for the two teams. Ruchu with an absolutely epic mount. Really unique. I absolutely like it. A unique and epic mount here. It's like, it's so unique and so epic. I wish I had one. Everybody should have a unique and epic mount. So, yeah. But top side, they're gonna go for a kill, aren't they? They want to go for Gia and Kerrigan trying to jump out. Lucio's helping out. Yeah, and with level 10, they can actually maybe even turn this. Oh, they lose Lucio. So it's a 4 versus 2. Kerrigan, nice start. There's the ult. It's a bit of a wild one because that's 2 kills now for the red team. They started this fight not having level 10 abilities, but they were able to take 2 kills regardless. They just absolutely swamped them, ganked up on them with superior numbers and took them down. So, nicely done. Riptire and Leo activates his trade. So we're going Leoki on this one for Richu. 6 kills to 2 and the red team taking over on the experience side. They might have lost the objective, but they're starting to reclaim their position in the game itself and start to do some work here. All the way up at the top. Hirath pushing this one out as well. And yep, 6 kills to 2. So there we go. Genji is zipping out. They got some mobility there. Genji, of course, the first one, but now another camp is already being taken. Getting a little bit more control on this one. And all the way up at the top, Hirath, still holding the line. It's come down a little bit. I say that, and then Genji, Lucio is again. All these Overwatch heroes, they just look the same to me. They all need to die. Every single one of them. Get that Overwatch creep out of my game! Is there any Overwatch hero that we actually like? I mean, Lucio can be fun, I suppose. But we don't like Genji. We don't like Hanzo. We definitely don't like Tracer. And we got Zarya, who's like, eh. So yeah, if anyone, then maybe Lucio, but even that's a big maybe. I think we don't like any of the Overwatch heroes. So yeah, Lucio's dead again. So he gets eliminated. But yeah. I'll put Lucio as a maybe. Just as a maybe. Just because he can be kind of fun. Depending on who plays him, he can be fun to watch. But generally, I would lean to like, yeah, no, we don't like Overwatch heroes. So, yeah. Either way. And that includes the ones that I haven't mentioned. So, a bit of an attack over here on the right side for the next camp. Nicely lined up with a shrine, but it's a top shrine, so it should be easy to defend against it. There could be a rotation down to the bottom to take that fort out, so that's something that they could still do. Genji comes in again, there's a taunt, the combo, nice! Brightwing trying for the save, helping out. That was a nice CC chain that the blue team executed, but support was paying attention. Now we got level 13 for them as well, and things are looking good. I love when you have just teams lining this up. You can really tell what the blue team is doing with these CC chains. And then Brightwing, Jojo, they're all trying to counterplay this as best as they can whenever the call is being made. Now Kerrigan goes down, so red team trying for kills again. And this is 9 kills to 2. So when it comes to teamfight prowess, there's a sure winner here. Team Hlopaka is absolutely doing work on this one. And I gotta say, when we're talking about the players in their team, there are a couple of new names here for sure. Teams that, well, players that we haven't seen all that often in tournaments in Europe just yet. So, which is pretty sweet. But at this point, we now have 9 kills to 2. They're obviously going to get, or they should be able to get that Punisher. Then again, they haven't really gotten too much after they got the kills. They went for the fort, but they haven't destroyed that one either. It's insanely low, but it's not taken out. And now Kerrigan is back. So, yeah, they can fight that 5 versus 5 again. Arrow connects. Maybe now the chance. Taunt. But they still can't kill Brightwing. Damn, son. Gia's team is doing whatever they can to get that kill, but they just cannot take the fruit fly out. And I understand. If you ever had some fruit flies in your apartment, you know how difficult it is to get rid of them. They are insanely pesky. They're super annoying. So, yeah. Instead, we now have... okay, it's a slaughter. Urel and Joanna are both dead. They're trying to go for Junkrat, and he gets trashed, so he's already down. And damn. Brightwing escaping again. And I'm telling you, these fruit flies, they just survive. You think you got rid of all of them, and all of a sudden, you know, there's another couple buzzing around. They're super annoying. Anyways, Gia with a Punisher. So this is the second Punisher that they're getting. They might not look that great in a lot of these team fights right now, and they're still 6 kills behind. But when it comes to objectives, they are on a roll. That's the second one in a row that they're winning here. So 100% win rate on these bad boys. And this time, they take a fort out. The bottom fort has been destroyed. Now they took the one at the top side out. They still have their fort at the top as well, which is obviously another big one. So, this is an interesting game. I mean, it really is. If they can now just chain this up even further, then, chance to maybe snowball that. But Team Hlopaka, they've done good work in the previous battles, so maybe now they can also get their act together. Either way, we got 34,000 for Genji, 35,000. He's top damage in the game right now. His brother is sitting at 30k. We got 32 for Hanzo, Junkrat, and yeah. Camps galore. Paint the map blue. That's what they're doing. Getting all of the 3 camps down at the bottom of the map. Bit of extra experience. Level 16 talents are kicking in as well. And that gives us, for now, Holy Renewal. Also getting... Meh. Meh. What makes that sound, actually? Really? The goat camp? Meh. Meh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really hope people heard that sound, because if not, then they think I'm insane. I am not drinking, I swear. I am not drunk or anything like that. I really hope I wasn't the only one that heard that. Anyways, level 60 talents already, so now we're waiting for Storm talents, but this is the chance to push again. And down at the bottom of the map, the Shrine is coming up too. So, yeah. We get the Templars verdict in, and here we go. Ah, he has the Billy Mount, that's what. There it is. Okay, didn't even catch that. So, play. Somebody gets caught. And zips away. Yeah, they try to turn it. Ah, good attempt by Varian to get the taunt through. But damn, this is not really flowing together for them the way that they want. Instead, they're in trouble with Hanzo, who gets the arrow out. Brother against brother. Junkrat is already dead. He gets the kill, but he still dies. Carrigan is gone. Genji, Junkrat. It is a bloodbath. 13 to 7 kills. Both teams at level 17. Another taunt comes out. They're going for Brightwing again. The Fruit Fly is still alive. Hunter Orc is escaping. Abandons everybody else here. For good reason. But damn, what a fight. I mean, still going on. They're not letting up here. They're diving in once again. And Varian has taunt ready, so they could try and get another kill. Might... can he turn it? No, they're not even trying. At this point, they're just attempting to get out of this one. And Leo isn't making it. He activates the straight, dies for a good cause, and yeah. Brightwing surviving and surviving and surviving. Hunter Orc absolutely going full badass on this one. Leoki has died 4 times. Not setting any records here. But yeah, look at the kill count. They're still pulling ahead. Team Hlopaka with 14 to 7. And as we all know, if this carries into the late game, this is where you can make real big strides with looking at the superior kill numbers. Once that those death timers are higher. Now the next shrine is getting announced, and this time we're talking about a shrine down at the bottom of the map, which means that if you go for the camp here and you can push the top lane a bit, that gives you even more value. Both teams have already taken their shaman camp. There's no globals really involved. Brightwing doesn't count. So can't really do anything with that. She doesn't have the wave clear count as a global for me. Technically, she is a global. When we talk about globals, we talk about heroes that have wave clear. We talk about Birdie, we talk about Hlopaka. I mean, even ETC with Echo Paddle and Stage Dive. But Gia is not beasting as much on Carrigan as usual. Normally when he picks Carrigan, I see just heroes dying left, right, and center. But they're having some trouble here, and a lot of that comes down to Brightwing and how well Hunter Orc is playing. Again, there's another set. Ah, they stunned out Brightwing. Beautiful play here from Hanzo, just at the right moment. They're still trying to go for Hunter Orc, and he gets out! He's gonna die. Yes, he gets Hanzo'd. Brightwing gets Hanzo, so that's a kill. They took down Jojo, they took down Urel, the Space Goat is dead too, and that is 10 kills to 14, nearly level 20 for them. Leo is going for the Punisher, and the pressure play at the bottom of the map is now aiming clearly for keep number 1. With them down for another 40 seconds, they have a very good shot here to make this work. So yeah, big kudos to Team Gia They didn't have the easiest start into the game, but they're really getting the act together here with level 20 kicking in. So now we have Storm Talons, and there's just no way to save that bottom team. Not happening. Absolutely not happening. So with that, we have the bold Psionic Shift. Oh, and they're going for core. Yeah, of course. I mean, that Punisher is still super strong. I got a big one here. And it's 10 seconds for Brightwing. The core is slowly falling, and this looks like game. Team Gia. They're going to take the 1-0 lead, aren't they? Yep, they are. 1-0 for the blue team as they take the W on Infernal Shrines in this best of 3 series on Playday number 1 for Banshee Cup Season 2. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. So, quick reminder, the 10 heroes that were played on the first map cannot be played again. Besides that, everything is still the same here. And with that, let's see what we're getting. What is Team Hlopaka now going to do? It was a nice finish from Team Gia. It was actually kind of fun because for a while it looked like, okay, what can they do with this? They could take the keep, then retreat, maybe go for that fort. And I was like, oh, they could just end the game. That kind of works as well. So, quick reminder also with the bounties, everybody, this is the bounty list. Again, I'm not necessarily showing you this because I expect a bounty to be attempted here, but since this is a tournament that is going to last for a while, it's probably kind of interesting for you to familiarize yourself a little bit with what the bounties are. Again, a reminder, we have a fixed bounty pool of $1,000. So every time that a team completes a bounty, they get 1 ticket for that bounty pool. And then at the end of the tournament, depending on how many bounties you completed, you get a share of that bounty pool. So the more teams ignore the bounties, the more money you get if you do complete one. Or if you just complete one every single match, because that's possible. You can technically complete a bounty every single map. You can't complete the same bounty twice as a team. But again, there's plenty to go through here. So yeah, just as a bit of a side note. Now, as we're heading into game number 2, also big shout out again to Kevin Psychiv. He's the owner of the LAN center in Miami, and he, as I already told you guys in the last one, is the sugar daddy of the Heroes of the Storm scene these days. Without him, we would not have had the offline event in Berlin. We wouldn't have had the events in Miami, and he is also the sponsor of Banshee Cup number 1 and Banshee Cup number 2. So big shout out to him, keeping this alive, and yeah, the man's just insane. Passionate about Heroes esports, and putting more effort and time in than Blizzard to try and keep that alive. So, yeah. Which is amazing and sad at the same time. So, yeah. Mirrodin and Hogger is what kicks us off here as we're heading into Tomb. Wave Clear is, of course, something that you really want and need. We get Blaze, Mephisto, and Malfurion now. Especially Mephisto is great on Tomb. I mean, you can play him on Infernal, you can play him on Tomb. We have Blaze for the bot lane, of course. And I still want to see if one of the teams is already diving into some bounties. Now, my gut feeling is that most of the teams are going to wait with bounties a bit for 2 reasons. First of all, because right now nobody knows which team is strong and which team isn't. This is the first Playday, so everybody's just still testing the waters a little bit, and you might not want to risk too much here, because again, it still matters what position you take in the standings, and it matters quite a bit for how the next phase will go for you. The second reason is that the teams have just formed roughly a week ago, so they didn't really didn't have that much time yet to play and test some of these bounties out. So maybe we are already going to see some on the first Playday, but there would be an argument to be made that they just want to get some more scrim time in, just train a little bit more, and then see what kind of bounty they are more comfortable with trying to accomplish. Because again, you still have to win with it. We want to avoid teams simply throwing maps just so they get a bounty ticket. So I can totally see that they're doing that. Stitches? Well, if they would have gone for Alexstrasza, that would have been your chance to go for a bounty. And I think this is actually one of the fun ones. Stitches and Alexstrasza and just going for Globe Talons on level 1 is, in my opinion, a super fun bounty. It's something that I've already advocated in the past for. Because if you get into that late game, it's just ridiculous how hit point heavy Stitches becomes. But we get Stitches, so the hooks come in. Now Malfurion obviously provides a follow-up with a root, so there's that. That's one of the main reasons why you want to have Malfurion with him. But our last pick for Hlopaka here on Tomb, our second map, is Medivh. Alright. Show starts off. Vala could go for auto attacks here with Medivh and Whitemane supporting here. But we're going into the second game now. Hlopaka against Gia. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Map number 2 in this best of 3. Game number 2. Skook for the blue team on Stitches. We got Sereni on Mephisto. Gia on Greymane for the blue team. Richu on Blaze. Play on Malfurion. And over on the right side, Team Hlopaka with the man himself playing Medivh on our second map. We got Hunter Orc on Whitemane. On level 1, straight into Pity the Frail. Panax on Myrden, Hirath on Hogga, and indeed Vala is going for Creed of the Hunter. So Miriala is going to try not die, rely heavily on Medivh and on Whitemane to keep her alive and get all those good stacks going. Now interrupt potential on the objective, definitely a little bit better for Team Gia with those hooks and also Mephisto. So yeah, a bit of a thumbs up here from Skork as we're starting into the game. And Miriala is already trying to get some nice auto attacks connected to start stacking up her Creed of the Hunter on level 1. So let's see how far she can go with that. But yeah, I'm waiting for those god hooks from Stitches. Bikini Stitches as well. I am personally still a fan of Chef Stitches. I think that he's absolutely amazing. But of course, Bikini Stitches has a certain appeal. Very, very, very specific appeal. But yeah. I'm not king shaming. I'm not king shaming. If you're into this shit, be my guest. If you heard me talk about Chef Stitches and you looked at that and you're like, nah, this is way better. Like, you know who you are. You know who you are. And you know why you said that. So yeah, there's definitely some latent feelings. So yeah, I'm not king shaming. I mean, you do you. You do you. It's totally fine. You don't have to be... No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. So, Greymane is already starting to do his thing over on the left side. We're going for a couple of camps here. Over on the right, Hogga is going for the big spin to win as per our usual agreement. And when we're talking stats, we of course have to mention Medivh too. Not only does he have to try and keep Vala alive, but he also has to try and keep himself alive so he doesn't lose the stacks or anything. So, there's that. 23 stacks now for our girl. Not too bad this early in the game. Let's see if she can pad that a little bit more. The problem with the Stitches combo is always that when portals are still available... I mean, first of all, Medivh can sniff out his position, right? So if you have Medivh in his Crow form, in Raven form, he can just simply like move in, figure out where Stitches is, and those hooks just don't come out of nowhere. You know where he is, and it makes it much easier to be A, prepared, and then B, dodge them. So that's the next thing. But as we see Mephisto fall, another advantage to point out here is that whenever Stitches actually gets a connection, there's a shield and a portal that Medivh can throw out, so he's exceptionally good against Stitches. And even if a Gorge comes in, you got a ley line, you just YOLO that out, and then you can move the rest of the team in and you have an actual fight going for you. So yeah, Vala already being protected. Vala is actually stacking quickly. She is stacking very quickly. First quest reward already completed, not even 2.5 minutes into the game. That could become a problem if they're heading into the late game, but they're taking the first kill. So Vala is actually down, gets deleted there, died on the wrong side of that wall. Portals are a tricky thing, you shouldn't overdo it with the aggression. And that removed some of the attack speed that she was hoping to maintain a bit more. So, yeah. Bit unlucky. But again, if it's always that trade-off. I mean, generally speaking, if you are stacking very well and very quickly, then dying a few times and losing some of the attack speed is fine. It's not ideal, it's not great, but it's fine. Normally, you want to prioritize staying alive, though, because it's that Manticore synergy with the added attack speed that you get later on that is very, very powerful. But as I said, if you only die once or twice and you trade it for very quick stacks and a lot of auto attack damage, then that can also really help you in the long run here. So yeah, we're going to take a look on her stacking progress around level 10 and later. But they're now also going for Blaze. Can they get a Stormbolt? Yep, they can, and that's the end of him. Blaze is gone, so they're doing work. They haven't turned in anything yet, so they should really try and move to one of the turn-in points and secure some of the gems that they're holding. But Vala now has also her level 7 talent. I mean, first of all, we get the Intercession. We also have the Hot Pursuit ready, so that definitely makes her life a lot easier. And it's already showing right there. Greymane comes out to play. But we have now 59 stacks and 21 gems have been delivered. So both of the teams are getting fairly close to their first turn-in. Team Gia is actually ahead on the gem count and could technically get the first set of web weavers for themselves. And is attempting to turn in again, but they are being denied here. Yeah, Merlin jumps in, hits another Stormbolt. Vala says thank you very much. More stacks. Tries to turn Stitches into a pin cushion. He's super low, gets a Devour out, but he's still gonna die. He dies, and they're zoning them away from the gems. They're zoning them from the gems, and they are nearly getting a second kill. Nearly a follow-up on Blaze, but that was actually big. That's a lot of gems that were just lost. Team Gia is losing their turn-in. They had enough for a full turn-in, and now they lost it, and the red team can still go for it. And of course, also, 69 stacks, nice. For Vala now. So, yep. Gets the additional stacks. Take a couple of gems away from the opponent. And nearly complete your turn in here. Should be able to pull that off down at the bottom turn in soon, TM. They are 1 gem short from getting the first set of web weavers. But, yeah. This is getting quite nice. Either way, the camp is also being fought over, and they're quite confident. I mean, Team Hlopaka is maybe a bit too confident here. They get caught, and then Hogger dies. Can they at least? Yeah, they can save Murder. He gets a shield, hops out, so it's super safe here. Talking Medivh, we have him on 29 stacks, so he's still doing pretty okay. Hlopaka himself playing him. Also has to be a bit careful considering that he's low on HP, so you don't want to touch ground here in that situation. Vala now on 82 stacks. And Vala is doing work. I mean, she's crushing it currently. 18,000 damage. That's top damage in the game. Red Web Weavers are now also in. And... oh no! Medivh! No! Greymane dies and loses his gems, but I think it's still worth it. He removed all of the stacks from Medivh. Quest not completed. They're trying for Stitches, and Vala just... one auto attack after another, padding her stacks and stats a little bit more as the web weavers are coming in. Medivh is back on the ground, but yes, Medivh now reset to 0 stacks on his baseline. Vala is looking good though, nearly 100, so she's about to complete the second quest reward. Level 10 abilities on both sides, and we have Putrid Bile. I talked a bit about the advantages of having Medivh against the Gorge Stitches, and yep, Team Gia agrees, so they go Putrid Bile instead. We have another kill, this time against Mephisto. Vala ooh, and Greymane. That's bad. That's both of your damage dealers gone as your opponent is pushing with web weavers. That's gonna be a few forts destroyed. So, yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. If you miss Mephisto and Greymane, you can kiss some structures goodbye. And they are now moving into the middle where they're going to try and just follow up on this. They still got the portals out there. Vala is at 105 stacks, and yeah, the timing here was just not good for them. So, looking still strong. Stitch is in trouble. Nice jet propulsion, beautiful counter from Team Gia, and they can kill Whitemane. Now Hlopaka is next up on the chopping block, and he dies as well. Once again, loses his stacks. The good news is he didn't have any. He had like 3, 4, 5, something like that. So nothing really to speak of. Better him than Vala, let's just put it like that. And Vala is now 25,000 damage, so she is pulling farther and farther ahead on the damage numbers. Hogger is still trying to catch up though. He's at 23,000, so there's that. Kill count 5 to 6. And look at that, Team Gia with a boss call. Coming in, and they're like, you know what, boys? Well, we have that opportunity, let's just go straight boss. Does that work for them? Seems like it. Even if they sniffed it out, they don't do anything about it. It's a very early boss on the other hand, and as they realize what's going on, they just moved here down at the bottom of the map and are now trying to take down the bottom fort a hit point or two. And they can pull that off. They're moving actually everybody in, or nearly everybody. Muradin is anchoring the play at the side. Medivh is checking position, so he's just flying around. And yeah, it's a race. They're going for the top fort. This one is going to get destroyed. At the bottom of the map, the fort also goes down. So each team is just taking one. Not too bad. Now, how far are you going with this? The boss should not be able to do any damage on the keep. I mean, it's very early in the game still when you're thinking about it. We're only 9 minutes in, so it's not like it's a late game boss. So this rotation of the red team is not bad by any means. Vala, then again, is being caught on the wrong side. Where's Medivh when you need it? Come on, bird boy. Come on.
Vala trying to keep the stacks up on the hot pursuit. Where's that portal? Yeah, the roots, the hook, the shield. He's using everything. Oh, and there it is, the kill. Malfurion with the Twilight Dream towards the end, and then it was Mephisto that comes in with the Skull Missile and just says like, nope, not on my watch. Nope. Takes her out, easy kill, 10% attack speed now removed. Yeah, that just dumm gelaufen.
There's no other way to say this. In Germany, we would call that dumm gelaufen. Literally what happened. Total wrong side of the fight, and she was just like, left, right, and then, yeah, wrong direction. Sorry. Needed Google Maps for this one. I would have shown her the way. Then again, it seems like Sereni is also going to die now. They're already safeguarding the spot. Stormbolt is out, and bye-bye. And that's a problem, because they are going for Web Weavers. They want to do some damage with that objective, but instead they're being chased away. Muradin is turning into an absolute monster here. Parnax is trying to get some connects and is losing Skullcracker, of course. Vala is also just rattling away, one hit after another. Yeah, goes for Malfurion and cannot get the kill. Damn, Play able to move out of the way. That was big for him. That was pretty huge. So, yeah, over here. 6 kills to 7, and off we go. Alright. By the way, I need to... we're doing lessons here, okay? So you're gonna learn something. You're not gonna learn something about heroes, but you're gonna take some German lessons right now. There's like an expression, I talked about this with a friend of mine lately. And there's just one expression, it doesn't translate properly into... Well, you can translate it, but it doesn't hit the same way. And I need you to learn that expression, because in the environment that we live today, I don't really care if you're at school, if you're a student at university, or if you're having a job or anything. So what we're going to learn together today is einmal mit Profis. Basically translates once with professionals, please. It's basically a plea. So whenever somebody's fucking up in your environment and just like screws things up, the expression to go for is einmal mit Profis. It means like once with professionals, and it's just basically a plea that just once in your life you want to work with some professionals and not with the dilettantes that you're usually surrounded with. So if you want to learn something, that's an expression that you can shine with. And you can also be just like a total smartass, you know? You can come in, you go for einmal with Profis, and then everybody's like, huh, what are you saying? And you're like, exactly. So, yeah. So, one to remember. You can always rewind, check it out again, but yeah, that's a good one. It's a really good one, and it just doesn't have the same zing when you're saying it in a different language. So yeah. Either way, 6 kills to 7, there's level 16. The catapult gets hooked, and we have once again the Web Weavers on the ground. All of the forts are gone on the blue team side, and they might lose. Yeah, they are losing Stitches. Stitches is gone, and boy, oh boy, that topside fort might get the axe as well. Web Weaver in the middle has got murder, but look at that wave at the bottom of the map. It's going to break easily through that wall. They're attempting pressure at the top too. Both teams now with level 16 as Team Gia is starting to catch up on this. Vala with 130 stacks, but whoo, seems like Team Hlopaka got a little bit angry after the loss in game number 1, didn't they? Because that is key. And if you are looking at the minimap and you just compare real quickly what we're getting, the red team has only lost a single fort. That's all that they lost so far. Nothing else. Now, we have some tools in the hands of Team Gia to control portals. They got them roots, for example. But it's not working as well as they would like yet. Balon 36,000 is now taking second fiddle to Greymane, who's at 39,000, and even Mephisto is catching up. He's on 34k, so they are bringing big damage right there. And all the way up at the top, another play for boss. They have some interesting boss timings. I mean, they're really going just YOLO, right? They're just going full team YOLO. And there's Poli, no leyline. They are also doing this super quickly because of the heroes that they have. Oh, but it's not over yet. Muradin? Yeah, this could be bad. This is really gonna be bad. Twilight Dream to stop Hogger from pogging, but Malfurion is gone. And they are gonna lose this, aren't they? There's the Poli. That in and of itself is already a disaster. Muradin is dead. Boss still up for grabs. And Vala is ripping them apart. 5-man. Team wipe. Everybody dead. All the gems are lost. The blue team lost everything. Absolutely everything. It's a total disaster. Huge fight. Everything lost. Vala with 150 stacks now. She's sitting at 44,000 damage. They're going core.
And well, we are going game 3. We are going to game number 3, everybody. 7 kills to 13. The boss is even here in the core, is already about to die. So nicely done by Team Hlopaka. They are able to claim it. Team Gia takes an L on Tomb of the Spider Queen as we are heading into the final map of the best of 3 series here in Playday number 1. GG.
So I guess we're going the distance. Garden of Terror. Off we go with the final map. I really like that. Playday number 1 for me personally is a bit to try and figure out the initial power levels of all of the teams, just get a bit of a comparison here. Obviously, as we're heading into Playday number 2, you know, you get more of an idea because you can compare, hey, which teams won on the second Playday, who did also well, which teams won on the first Playday, who also did well on the second, and so on and so forth. So I think after 2 Playdays, you start to see in the ranking which team is doing well and which team might be struggling a little bit. And again, if you want to have additional information on all of that, as I pointed out in some of the previous videos, you can use the Discord link that you can find in the description and check those things out, the standings and other info on Discord. It's the easiest way to pull that off. Obviously, Sylvanas getting banned again. Kind of feels bad here. Garden of Terror. Now, Hoga has already been played. He would normally be a shoe-in, a potential ban actually for this. But, yeah. And instead, we're getting a ban on Maiev. Alrighty. It's game number 3, so now you have 20 heroes that can't be played. That doesn't really inconvenience players too much. But there's always the chance that at some point, you know, the first bounty is coming in. And we had teams in the past that love to bust out a Cho'Gall on the final map. Even on Garden of Terror. Now, do I necessarily expect Cho'Gall here? No, but what we could see is, let's say, Hunt Illidan. That's an option. So, Hunt Illidan would actually be interesting. Then again, I already explained earlier why I personally think that most teams will shy away from bounties on Playday number 1. Just simply because they're going for a bit of a wait-and-see approach to see which teams are going to be stronger and which teams are going to at least perceive to be weaker. It's always easier to complete a bounty, you know, when you go up against an opponent that you think you should beat because they're just not quite on the same level as you are. So, Inubera gets banned. No Beetles in this game allowed. And was first pick. We should still put something in that Sylvanas can't be banned. It's her cup, the Banshee Cup. The Banshee Queen, and she gets the axe. Okay, Diablo for Skog, starting to bully people again with Dibbles, the OG bully. What I really wanted, I would have loved that for Heroes. I think Heroes would have really benefited from some kind of cartoon series where you see, you know, high school Diablo, high school Diablo, or just generally high school Heroes of the Storm characters have adventures or something. And Diablo, you know, as the OG bully stuffs people into lockers and stuff like that. You have Leoric that then comes in as a baseball character and just like knocks it out of the park and things like that. That could have been really fun. I mean, you had other games in the past that had that, where they came in with cartoons. I mean, you have obviously Carbot for some of it, but it's a very different style. But I think the storyboards that we could have developed with that would have been quite nice. With this many characters that we have there, there's a lot of potential for things like that, and it would have made it also very fun, you know, to comment on this a bit during a cast. But yeah, unfortunately, that never was a thing. But it would be pretty epic. It would be really, really fun here. So, yeah. Rhaegar and False Dead are in. So, yeah, we get the birdie. Mirrors Dehaka on the other side. So you have globals on each team, but there's still a couple of combos that you could technically try and go for. So, yeah. Sonya gets banned out. The Eminem of the Nexus. If you, by the way, have never heard this before, then first of all, where have you been the last 10 years? But if you take a closer look at the portrait of Sonya at the top, and then think Eminem with an orange wig. If you haven't heard that before, now you can't unsee it anymore, and well, I just ruined Sonya for you. If you heard it before, then yeah, that's just it. So, let's go. We have Tychus. Tychus getting banned. And yeah, when it comes to like the damage output, I mean, Titan of Terror is usually a map where you're trying to get the wave clear for the mercenary kills. It's one of the biggest things that you're trying to do here. I'm still waiting for a couple of special picks throughout all of this, and it seems like we're not getting them. But it would have been fun to get some more action or something, you know, trying to just control the map a little bit. Stuff like that. But yeah. Anyways, double pick for the red team, for Team Hlopaka. And there it is! Cho'Gall is in the house, everybody. We have ETC, Dehaka, and Cho'Gall. So, bounty attempt by Team Hlopaka. Can they pull it off? Oh, that would be epic if we're starting on the first playday already with a bounty completion. Because then it becomes a question, you know, once that you have a ticket for the bounty pool, it always becomes this math puzzle. Okay, how many other teams have a ticket? How much money would we get if it ended today? We get Zagara and Malthael, and keep in mind, we have a Zagara bounty as well, but only if she picks Nidus. And this is a map where you could go Nidus. This is an absolute potential Nidus play. If we see Zagara with Nidus now, then one team is 100% going to complete a bounty. If she picks Nidus, one team is going to get a bounty ticket here. I love it. It's going to be great. Final pick, Hunter Orc goes for Oriel. Guys, we are set. Game number 3, Garden of Terror between Team Hlopaka and Team Gia. Game number 3, Team Gia against Team Hlopaka, and it is time, boys. We got Gia on Zagara, Sereni on Falstad, Skok on Diablo, Richu on Malthael, and Play on Rhaegar. On the right side of the map, Team Hlopaka, everybody. We got Hlopaka himself with Dehaka. Hlopaka on Dehaka. Mirial on Gal, Parnox on ETC, and Herath is playing a Cho as we got Hunter Orc on Oriel. So, with that, it depends a little bit on what exactly Zagara does on level 10, as I already mentioned, but there is at least one bounty attempt that is already guaranteed, and that is Cho'Gall being played by the red team. But if Zagara now goes for Nidus, then one team will 100% complete a bounty here, because, well, one of them is going to win. We're not going to get a tie or anything in this game. But, yeah, I already like it. So a little bit of top lane pressure as Cho'Gall is going for it. Hiriale. That's not too bad. Not too bad for a Cho'Gall name. But, yep. And down at the bottom of the map, there we already have Richu doing his thing. And it's kind of interesting. I really want to see what Zagara takes. This is one of the downsides, by the way, when you're just like, I mean, obviously when we're talking bounties, we want to keep them as simple as we possibly can, right? But it's always a bit sad when with some of them you have to wait for heroic abilities. I think it puts a certain amount of suspense on things, but yeah. I would love to see Nidus. I haven't seen Nidus Zagara tried on top level play in such a long time. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if on a big map like this, they would bust that out, and Gia is somebody who I can totally see making that work. So if they would do that here, that would just be crazy good. I would love that. But time will tell, time will tell. For now, I'm just happy that we're getting Cho'Gall in the first place, going into the Taskmaster on level 1 for Gal. For Cho, we got the Callous Tide, and yeah. Let's see how this continues. I mean, Zagara is obviously also one of the heroes that after level 16 is able to do a bit more damage to Cho'Gall, so she's a bit of a counter in that sense. Keep in mind, Tychus was actually banned out. Wasn't Tychus even banned out by Team Gia? Am I crazy? They banned Tychus, right? And you have still Malthael that you have to deal with. But if you go Molten Block, for example, you can play around the last rites a little bit. There's also likely going to be Aegis for Hunter Orcs. That's another one. And yeah, there are some threats to Cho'Gall. It's not like we have nothing there. But still, this could have been so much worse. Imagine, for example, Tychus, Greymane, Leo with Strain. I mean, all of these heroes that we just don't have right now. Big attack at the top as they're breaking through the gate already. And damn, Play is so low on Rhaegar. He is insanely low. But yeah, down at the bottom of the map, the birdie starting to push this a bit. I love a good Falstad player. Falstad can be real fun. But it seems that, at least initially, Team Hlopaka is leveraging their Cho'Gall play nicely. I mean, top side fort about to go down. So they are taking control of this game. At least initially. They're a bit ahead in experience. They're taking the first structure out. Zagara is still trying to do her thing here as well. But now that we're going straight into the middle and for the first seed, we'll see if the blue team just easily walks away with it and for free. But with ETC saying hello, it doesn't seem like it. So, ETC already came in and did this thing. Yeah, there we go. There's a slide. The whip comes out as well. 1 kill to 0. Still, only a single kill thus far. And bam, Gia gets the channel, so blue team walks away with the first seed. Sugar's still fine. We now have the rising red and also the seared flesh. As a Richu! Oh, 20 hit points! Oh my god, not even cutting it close here. I mean, it's more than 0, so it's all that he needs. Absolutely calculated. He's just using, it's an efficient use of his hit point pool, that's what it is. We get Enraged Regeneration. We also have the Energized Cord in. They're still barreling through the middle. They already took the fort at the top out, so now they're just continuing the same play in the middle of the map. With the Orc Rampage incoming on level 7 for Gal. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty fun one. So, with that, we now have on so 12,000 damage for Gal, 8,000 for Zagara. Skok is being chased around a bit. Shogal's still enjoying his game up to now. They still have to also pick up some of the objectives here. I gotta get some seeds. You can't just let the blue team walk away with too big a lead. Whew! The doggy is out! Alright! Rega gets hit and he gets hit hard. So, Rega down, 2 kills to 0. Zagara down at the bottom of the map. Still pushing. Hlopaka will have to take care of this, but she's at least getting some counter pressure in. So she destroyed the tower. She destroyed also one of the gate, and the second tower is about to fall. But here in the middle, the same play is being made. Malthael maybe a little bit too far out here. They want to try and take him on, and honestly, with the two of them, they should be able to pull that off. But Rega is now on his way, and Richu is wasting a lot of their time. So that allows Rega to get close, and that's all they needed. So, the attempted gank against Malthael not working, but they're going for the doggy again! Oh, that's something I don't think they necessarily saw coming here. But now that Diablo also says hello, they're gonna lose most likely at least one of their heroes. Yep, and here comes Falstad. The problem is, while they are being killed, now first of all they got Rega, second of all, Cho'Gall just says like, you know what, you can do whatever you want at the top, I don't give a damn. I'm just gonna go for the fort. That's the second fort that is now destroyed, so it starts moving down to the bottom of the map. Stitches isn't in the game. ETC has gone for stage dive. Moment of truth, Zagara. Yeah, and she's going for more. No attempt at a bounty, so still a 1 bounty play in the game. And so far it's not looking too bad for the Cho'Gall team. Structurally, they are heavily ahead, and that of course results in an increased passive experience gain that they are now enjoying. Still the seat at the top, by the way. Nobody has done anything about that. That seat has been there for a while now. So they could start gathering that. Cho'Gall at the bottom, quickly retreats. There's a full 5-man pressure play coming in from Team Gia as they are trying to do some work here. So, Air, 2 kills, 2-3. Trying to go for the fort. We should be able to grab this one as well, but the seed top side has now been lost. But they are making good progress here. Hlopaka comes in. There's the... Oh, Cho'Gall gonna get some damage out. The ball. Nicely done by Zagara. But this is the big fight. 5 versus 5 now all of a sudden. They go for Rega again. Gets his Ancestral out, saves himself. The chase is on. They catch Oriel. Aegis is out. ETC slides, and Malthael dies. Malthael dies. Diablo finds himself becoming the next target. Skok likely gonna fall now too. So, yeah. Well, actually, I think he can walk away now. Yes, he can walk away now. Oh, whip it! No! 16 hit points! Falstad is dead and Oriel kills Diablo. I always knew that Angels were actually stronger. So, yeah, they lose, how many? 3 heroes, I believe? 3 heroes down, Malthael is back, Falstad's still dead, and Diablo lost his souls. So it's 6 kills to 2 in favor of Team Hlopaka. A 1 level lead for them, and they are looking good here. Not bad. But yeah, it's a bit of a wild one already. I love it. Cho'Gall with the play down at the bottom of the map. And yep, the Haka's at the top. Rhaegar's actually... Is he going to try and steal the camp away from them? I guess. Steal some mercenary camps while your opponent is pushing heavily for structures. I mean, why not, right? 29,000 damage for Gal. Level 13 talents are now ready any moment for Team Hlopaka too. The whip is out again. Camp has been stolen. Is now applying pressure at the top side forward. We actually get Molten Block. So, yep. Molten Block now an additional tool that they have against Last Rites in particular. So they have Aegis, they got Molten Block. Got a couple of tools that they can work with here. And yeah, Rhaegar's just stealing the next camp. I actually kind of like it. Playdays just going from one mercenary camp to the next. And saying like, yeah, if you're not dealing with with your camps, then I'm going to take them. And that applies pressure on those structures. Now, when it comes to structures, they've already lost a lot here. They lost way too many of their forts. He's even backdooring the camp, the minion wave. So he's asking for some trouble. They're trying to cut him off. He's running. He's halting. No, he interrupted him. No. His James Bond mission is denied, but he still gets out at the bottom. What a chat. Great play here. Awesome. Nicely done.
Who let the dogs out?
Yep, they let the dog out here. So the doggy got out, and that was awesome. Play with the perfect moves. 7 kills to 2. Malthael died, but they didn't get Rhaegar. Rhaegar survived. He's a survivor. My man. Absolutely fantastic. Top side, they're taking these out now as well. Oh, look at him. He's trying it again. He's trying it again. We're trying to chase him. Okay, I think this time he went a little bit too hard. Oh, the whip missed it. He missed the whip. Oh, no. No, he's dead. Okay, ETC now coming in. He's definitely dead. Finally, they got him. But yeah, that was glorious. Oh, 2 seats to 1 in favor of Team Hlopaka. They're still a level ahead. Zagara, she gets out. Zagara gets out. Close call, but she makes it. And now, that is a set of Garden Terrors. Yep, Hlopaka gets the final seat, and now it's push time. Trying to make sure that they're going to get even more than before here. And Cho'Gall has up to now just done an absolute stellar job with this. They are also about to hit level 16, which is another advantage that they're running here. So, yep, the wall gone within seconds. That wall doesn't stand a chance. Now ETC can jump in whenever he's needed. He's trying to push out the bottom of the map a little bit as the Haka started to focus towards the top. 16 is ready, the Leaden Orb therefore, and the Frenzied Fists are in. But they are starting to move for that Kibu. The Haka, damn. He came, he saw, and he got wrecked. Benny, VD, BG. Easy kill. 8 kills against 3 now. But yeah, they're doing a bit more damage here, but they're not really threatening any of the keeps yet. So they are trying to pull farther ahead here. I mean, you can see it on the experience gain, by the way. Passive experience, that's already a 3,000 experience difference between the two of them. So definitely quite a lot to work with here. But we'll see if they're getting an early level 20 here, maybe even if they can capitalize on some of those advantages. Because as is right now, I mean, it's nice for them, don't get me wrong, but they haven't taken any keeps out, and that at the end of the day is, of course, what you're really aiming for. Mercenary experience, by the way, is a little bit funny, because that's where they suck the most. But they get Rhaegar again. Rhaegar is just getting wrecked. He died 4 times already. Now they're going for Diablo, and Skork, ooh, that gust might have saved him. Skork is still trying to get out. They are attempting to cut him off, though. And yeah, he is going to die. It's going to take a little bit, but he is definitely going to fall. Now that he is not on a mount anymore, he won't have a chance to escape here, actually. Cho'Gall is still taking a camp on the left side. And I love how the blue team just continues. You can see it on the minimap. They're now at the top right, and they're just continuing to steal these mercenary camps away. As Skork is wasting the red team's time over and over again, they're just going for that. Problem is there's a bit of a similar counterplay that's also happening here. This is kind of funny, by the way. Whip into the wall, there's the drag, and finally Diablo goes down, I hope. Okay, there it is. But they have now taken the camp at the top, and they're going for the next play. They're going for the fort. Problem is that down at the bottom of the map, the keep might be in trouble. But at least it's 16 versus 16 between the two teams now. So I guess that's their saving grace here. But the push is definitely coming. The Haka's dealing with Falstad. Rega! No way! What? How did he not die there? That's insane. Rega able to heal himself last second. There's the slide. Tried to bounce him into the tongue. Didn't really work. So it's a bit of a weird situation that they find themselves in right now. A little bit strange here. You've taken all the forts out. You have a bit trouble of going for the keeps themselves. I mean, there's still only one single seed for the blue team, so it's not like they're relying on two already and are threatening the first set of Garden Terrors. So that's, I suppose, the good news for the red team. But the question is still, can they win this? Not only to close out the series and take the W, but also to get the first bounty. Get the first bounty ticket and play for the prize pool there. 10 kills, 2-3. We're at level 19 right now. 55,000 damage. Shogal still trying, coming in here from the side, also zoning them out as the Haka is still at the top, hoping to extend that lethal experience for them a bit more. And off we go. Oh, and they catch him. They catch Malthael, and also Rega's in trouble. Malthael and Rega both in trouble. Good gust. It's not enough. Good gust from False at that, but Rega is dead again. And Play is struggling. He played some great games, but this one he is definitely having some trouble. Yeah, he's dying a lot on this, so kind of unfortunate for him. Getting a bit murdered on this one now. Middle of the map, they're hoping to take one of those keeps out, and I gotta say, with level 20 now kicking in for them too, the red team is just doing so much work here. They're looking great. They might really be the first ones to get a bounty in this tournament, and obviously winning the series in the process, which is also super powerful. Now we're getting the Hour of Twilight, which is just ridiculous. That talent is so insanely powerful, it's crazy. Shogal can literally just start backdooring time and time again if he wants to, and it's totally fine, because by the time the opponent crosses the map in order to try and capitalize on his death, he's back to business and can start defending. So yeah, it's super powerful talent. We've seen that over and over again from the Cats, for example. So yeah, as is. 12-3, the kill count. I mean, that in and of itself already tells you everything you need to know. 2 seeds to 0, but the Haka's now getting one. Yes, and the crowd pleaser. ETC gets mod, but Malthael is dead again. The Ancestral connected, but boy, oh boy, are they in trouble. Team Gia is being picked apart here. 13 kills, 2-3. They lost 2 of their heroes. They're losing the keep, and the pressure just doesn't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. They're moving in time and time again for another target, for more pressure against the structures, taking keeps down, working on the core, aiming for follow-up kills. Now that Malthael can't use last rites here. Good whip from Oriel once again, and they're just going for gold. They want this game, and it's just looking fantastic for them. They're about to take the core out. The shield is gone. Nice heal. Clutch shield from Oriel. The core down to 91%. Another perfect drag from the Haka. Negated by Rega. And they're actually falling back. They're realizing this might not work for them. With level 20, they are looking at a massive power spike though. And they are pushing in over and over again, trying to capitalize on that power spike and apply more pressure. And the more that they're pinning their opponents down in their base, the more space and room for the Haka to work with, to push the map out, and also, as we've seen before, go for some of those seats. Has taken one. So, yeah, half a level until level 20 for Team Gia. And I mean, they are fighting. Zagara hasn't died yet. She's the only one on the blue team that has not fallen yet. And they are fighting tooth and nail in an attempt to survive here. In an attempt to somehow make it to 20, get the Storm Talons, and then start to fight back. And, I mean, technically they can still make that happen. They destroyed a couple of forts too, so it's not only the red team that has done structural damage. They are ahead, yeah, but you go for some good kills and you might just be able to cross the map and go for gold here. So, damage output, 64,000 for Zagara. That's what we're looking at right now. 80,000 for Gal. And if you're looking at the talents here, Zagara has now gone into the Pack Instincts, has obviously gone for Corrosive Saliva as the level 16 choice. This is the big one against Cho'Gall, and it's really, really helping her. They need to deal with those ideas. But now it's even talents again. So teams are very even here, and that means that the biggest advantage is the structural lead that Team Hlopaka has. And that's the keep in the middle, maybe. 2 seeds to 2. Next seed is going to determine who walks away with a set of Garden Terrors, and it spawns top, right in the middle. So this could be the big one. This could be the one to decide who takes victory in the series. And Hlopaka is pushing the bottom of the map out a little bit. Has already done that. So they have some catapult pressure that might amount to something for them. But yeah, if they get a second set of Garden Terrors after what they've already done earlier today, then that would be the dream. That would be pretty sweet. So the attacks, they keep coming. Everybody is setting up for this. Not a single stack, by the way, for Malthael. It's kind of sad. Malthael has not gotten a single ult out that led to a kill. Not one. Not the entire game. 19 minutes in. The double global is doing work, by the way. ETC is now starting to join. Yep, and jumps in. And hits Richu, but gets mauled right away. Every single time he jumps in, Zagara is ready for more, but now she's dead. Insta explode, gets killed by Auriel here. And so does Malthael. It's a disaster. They're losing everything. Diablo is about to die. Rhaegar was actually trying to steal the seed away. That didn't work either. Dibbles is back in a moment. Malthael already bought back. They're trying for the middle, and he is... I think the red team is fucking this up. I understand that they're trying to go for the core here, but why not go for Garden Terrors? I think that's a mistake. So they are trying to go for the core with this, and I mean, nice, but Diablo is back, Malthael bought back. What the hell is the red team thinking? What? I mean, I gotta be blunt here. This is the dumbest decision that I've seen in a while. They might still win the game here, but why not take the seed? Okay, they're taking Malthael and Diablo down. They're winning this, but damn, I would not have risked this. I think that was a massive risk. They're losing the keep at the top lane now. All they had to do was take the seed. But, okay, they are still winning the game, but damn, that was quite the risk they took. But congratulations! First bounty completed by Team Hlopaka, and they win the series. Nicely done, the red team with the W on Garden of Terror. GG.